Hello, guys. My name is Reikai, and welcome back. I just got back from visiting my mom, and man, a lot happens in the span of a week. Um, this is one thing I was going to talk about when I got back. The whole Borderlands 4 thing and the $80 fiasco. You know, the continued pattern of behavior of game companies talking down to their audience and patronizing them for whatever reason it is, whatever flavor of the week it is. And I guess now it's Borderlands 3 or 4, sorry, Borderlands 4 saying to their audience, if you are a true fan, you'll find a way to get the money together and buy the game. Now, in a sense, yeah, I would agree. Like, if the game is good and stands on its own, people will save the money and buy the game. That just goes without saying. You don't really need to say that. I don't understand why that was the going point, but anyway, these companies love to treat their audience like they're inferior to them, and it's been a really bad business model, and I don't know why they keep doing it, but I guess until they all go bankrupt, they'll keep doing it. Anyway, grab your coffee, grab your tea, what have you. Let's delve into this. I'm just going to say at the beginning, before we get into what was said, this whole idea of demonizing your audience, whether it's for political reasons, financial reasons, what have you, you're trying to sell a non essential product, essentially a luxury product. A video game is something that really isn't that important to your survival as a human being. So I don't really know where the superiority complex comes with these companies, where they think that where they just have this inflated ego, where their games are just like the best thing since sliced bread. I don't get it, because I got some unfortunate news for game developers and game artists in general. Your job is a non-essential job to society. Hate to break it to you, but if video games disappeared overnight, yes, it would get a lot more boring, but people would thrive, or people would be fine. You realize that you're designing a product that people don't have to prioritize to purchase. It's not food, it's not water, it's not shelter, it's not clothing. It is literally just some entertainment that once all your other priorities have been solved, you may have some time to partake in. So, my advice to all these egotistical, narcissistic, insane psychos who are behind making these video games: do everybody a favor and yourself a favor, curb your ego, get your attitude in check, and stop trying to sit in people's living room and tell them what the fuck to do. Anyway, let us continue. Alright, as gamers express concern about Borderlands 4 potentially costing $80, Randy Pitchford says if you're a real fan, you'll find a way to make it happen. Yes, if your product is deemed worthy to be valuable enough to pay the extra money for, then people will pay for it. However, you don't have a fully released product yet in order to make those claims. My advice would be to not patronize your audience, release the game, charge $80 for it, see if people are willing to pay the $80 for it, and don't sit there on a stage or wherever this was said. I was trying to find where the original comment came from. I think it might have just been on Twitter. I don't know. I did some looking around. All I can find are other people's videos on it. It is what it is. But if you're going to stand there and say that my shit is fucking perfect, yet you don't have anything to prove that, and then you tell people, well, you're just a bunch of broke losers who aren't real fans, it's probably not a good idea to do that. You're going to demonize anybody you're going to demonize a lot of people from buying your game. It's weird, man. I could see it if you released the game, it got a bunch of really good reviews, and people loved it, and then they were saying, oh, $80 is too much. Then you could be like, well, actually, the game is worth $80, and everybody agrees. But you can't just sit there and create this narrative that your product is going to be worth this money until anybody is able to fucking see it. It's stupid. Stop doing this. And I say this because I want these games to succeed, because holy fuck do we really want some goddamn good motherfucking games. We've been getting some really good ones lately because I think these game companies are finally starting to listen to reason and make some good content instead of trying to patronize and essentially sit in everybody's living room like fucking human resources and tell everybody what to do. Shocker, people don't like that. Anyway, so Outspoken Gearbox Chief Randy Pitchford. Jesus Christ. This again, it's another Funko Pop collecting loser millennial who looks like a complete fucking smug asshole doing this shit again. Like, come on, man. This guy looks like he had no friends in high school, probably has very few friends now, is just completely unlikable. Maybe don't sit there talking shit when you know. Anyway, Outspoken Gearbox Chief Randy Pitchford has responded to a fan who expressed concern about the prospect of paying $80. And if you're a fan, you will make it happen. And yes, there is some truth in that. As long as the product stands on its own and is worthy of $80, then yes, those who really want it will figure it out. Hell, bro, crackheads can fucking get $80 together if they're desperate enough. Like, but the problem is, you gotta have something people want, first of all. And let's be honest, a lot of people were mixed on Borderlands 3. I personally had fun playing it. I like the whole concept of let's joke on the fucking content creators and make them look goofy. That was funny. Hey, if you can't laugh at yourself, you can't laugh at other people, right? So I thought it was a cool idea. It's like, haha, let's make fun of the streamers. Anyway, and yeah, that one didn't quite sell as well as the other ones. So, if usually when that happens, you're going to want to try to be a little bit cautious in making sure that you get more people back on your side instead of doing the opposite, which is what Randy Pitchford is doing. He's just pissing off more people. And they're just, even if they think the game is good, they're probably just going to say, fuck you, I'm not going to buy it. Fucking talking down to me like I'm stupid. Fuck you, man. Shut the fuck up. And yes, I get it. Games are getting expensive to make, but mind you, a lot of these game companies waste a lot of money on a lot of pointless shit that nobody gives a fuck about. You could probably cut out a good chunk of fucking money on that stuff and put it towards other stuff. But hey, I'm not here to tell these companies how to run their company. I'm just saying this is what other people see, and this is what their customers are laying out and saying, I'm not paying you extra money just because you're paying for some shit I don't give a fuck about. Like, come on, man. Give me a break. That's your decision, not mine. My decision is to purchase the product based off of whatever criteria I decide. The video game industry has made the jump to $80, first with Nintendo and Mario Kart. Guess what? I'm not buying Mario Kart because, well, I'm not the target audience really for that anymore. And two, I really don't think a game like Mario Kart's worth $80. Like, oh wow, it's a go-kart racing game with fucking fancy colors and shit. Whoop-de-fucking-do. No one cares. It's really nothing universal or different or groundbreaking. But people are going to pay that because they want to keep their kids and stuff entertained. Let's be honest. It's going to happen, right? You got little Timmy there whining and complaining that all his friends are playing Mario Kart and he can't play Mario Kart, so he's going to throw a temper tantrum, and you're just going to say, fuck it, here's fucking $80, whatever, shut the fuck up, bitch. Some parents are going to do that, and that's what these game companies are hoping. They don't expect you to understand the value of the game. They're just like, you're going to pay $80 whether you like it or not. In certain circumstances. Obviously, you're not going to be worried about Grand Theft Auto. Like, if your kid's having a temper tantrum over Grand Theft Auto, you literally just say, bitch, you're not fucking old enough to be playing this game anyway. Sit the fuck down. And, yeah. Publisher 2K Games and parent company Take-Two have so far remained vague on whether they will go to $80. Yada, yada, yada. Okay. And then we get into this. So here, the exchange. I'm guessing this is between the CEO. Randy, this game better not be $80. Don't take that risk. A lot of gamers aren't going to pay $80 and feed this notion of a constant increase of the price tag. You are the CEO. You have some say. with the price when it comes to your publisher. Okay, so he's the CEO. Sorry. My bad. Not my call. And here's Randy Pitchford's response. Not my call. Are you not the CEO? Then what the fuck are you being paid for? If you're a real fan, you'll find a way to make it happen. My local game store had Starlight for Sega Genesis for $80 in 1991, and I was just yeah. Well, guess what? Back then, a good game was far and few, and if you really wanted something good, you would be willing to pay for it. But here's the thing: you're in an inflated market now that has plenty of other products out there, so you're shooting yourself in the foot by doing this without having some proof that your product is going to be better than other people's by doing shit like this. At least have the product released and then say this. You're expecting people to pay $80 for something we don't even know what it's going to be like, and then having this fucking ego of like, oh, I got $80 together when I was out of high school. Yeah, bitch, I shoveled walks when I wanted to buy an N64. Good for you. That's not the fucking point. The point, and many people have been making it, I just explained many points as to why this is probably a bad idea, and most of the points aren't even about the price tag. If you want to charge a price for your game, go ahead. But expect the market to decide whether that product is worth that price or not. You don't get to make that choice. You don't get to tell grown-ass adults how they can spend their fucking money. You don't get to tell people that they have to like your game because, I don't know, whatever reason you come up with. That's not how this works. That's not how this is ever going to work. And guilt-tripping your audience into giving you money has been killing other companies. So maybe look at the pattern of behavior, get your head out of your ass, do your job as a CEO, and fucking get it together. As you'd expect, Pitchfork's comments sparked vociferous response. Is that even a fucking word? People bad. LMAO CEO said, real fan, woo-wee in this economy. Well, yeah, you're gonna fucking patronize people, they're gonna get mad. Ooh, shocker. You know, if you can't handle criticism, don't dish it out. Anyway, wow, that's probably a bad take, cost of living crisis, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, and as I said at the beginning of the video, a lot of people are going to prioritize obvious, important things before they prioritize buying your fucking game. Your game is a secondary luxury product, and things are getting expensive. I know that might be hard to understand for some Funko Pop collecting loser millennial who got lucky and became a multi-millionaire CEO. But there's a large percentage of people out in the society right now that are kind of struggling, and $80 could be the difference between fucking food right now. So why the fuck would they buy your game? Ooh, you're just not a real fan. Bitch, no, we're fucking hungry. The fuck you talking about? And all people are trying to say is, you make the game a little cheaper, you might sell more copies. It has nothing to do with anything else other than that. Yes, the economy sucks, blah, 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 blah. But when you do what all these other companies are doing and you just take the bad actors and you don't listen to the common sense takes that people have, then you're gonna end up losing money again. And we're all gonna laugh about it in a week or two after your game comes out, and you gotta lay people off. And guess what? These people are the cause of constant people losing their jobs. It's not us. It is you. Last week during PAX East panel, Pitchford insisted that he didn't know. So you don't even know if you're gonna charge $80 or not. Then why the fuck? What are you doing, bro? Why are you trying to do shit like this? What, you really needed to pad your ego this week? Holy fuck, bro. So, not only are you unsure if you are actually charging this price, you're going with it anyways, patronizing your audience, guilt-tripping them into making sure that they have the money to buy it, and then you're also not confident that that's going to be the case. Right. You know, we really need to these companies really need to get these CEOs to stand down. Because holy fuck, are they out of touch with reality. They've been sitting up on their porcelain thrones for way too long. They have no idea how other people think, how they spend their money, or how they live, because they live in a whole different world. I'll tell you the truth. I don't know. That is the truth. I'll hit it straight on. So you can't even stay confident in your own shit talking. Interesting. On one level, we've got a competitive marketplace where the people that make those choices want to sell as many units as possible, and they want to be careful about people that are price sensitive. There are some folks who don't want to see prices go up, and even the ones deciding what the prices are. Well, some people can try to decide what the price is. That's your job. Our job is to decide whether it's worth to pay that price or not. And a smart CEO would be able to understand what the value of their product is in the eyes of the consumer. I'm sure you'd probably like to charge $500 for this game. But let's be real. You're going to sell a lot less copies because most people are going to say, this is not worth $500. My car, my shitty little 2000 Toyota Yaris is worth $7,000. If I tried to sell it for $8,000, people would not buy it because obviously the value is... I've obscured the value in a marketplace where there's plenty of other Yarises to buy for $7,000. I don't know. Call me crazy. I don't run an entire multi-billion-dollar company. But if you're going to try to overcharge for something before it's even released, it just sounds dumb. Anyway. Let's continue through. So that's about it. Let's look at some comments here. Obviously you're going to have a lot of people who are going to buy the game anyways because they enjoy the franchise. $80, yes. Most of us can get $80 together if we really want something. All I'm trying to get at is maybe don't sit there with this ego and patronize people who are questioning whether or not it's a good idea. Just make the game, release it with the price, don't say shit, let the marketplace decide. And if you don't sell any copies at that point, lower the fucking price. But to stand there and patronize people because they're not giving you money doesn't get more people to give you money. It gets you a lot less. And he's not wrong. So you could afford a game at $70, but an extra $10 is out of reach. Yet people will spend $20. See, I don't like this argument of $20 a day on coffee. I make my own coffee. And I also make a decent amount of money when I'm working. People are going to decide what certain luxuries they want to buy based off of what their priorities are. You don't get to decide what people's priorities are. If you want to spend $20 on a cup of coffee, holy fuck, do whatever you want. If you don't want to spend $80 on a video game that you don't see it's worth $80, again, do what you want. If you want the game, buy the game. The whole point of this conversation, and the people that just don't understand, is the whole concept of standing there with an ego and a chip on your shoulder and patronizing your potential customers. It's a weird way of saying it, but he's actually right. Yeah, and he could have said it completely differently, and people would have still been kind of mad about it, but you'd have a lot less because the way he said it was such a backhanded way. He basically just said, bitches, you poor. And no one likes to hear that from a fucking CEO or someone who is like way richer than they are, put in a position by the people who give you money. It's just bad. I personally will be buying the game. I love Borderlands. I'm going to buy it. Like I said, I enjoyed the third one, I enjoyed the second one, I enjoyed the first one. I've paid $100 for a couple games that I like because I have deemed that product worthy of that price. For me, the value is worth it, so I purchased it. I didn't have to have a CEO tell me why. I didn't have to have someone else tell me why. I looked at the product, decided, okay, this is something I see as valuable. What's the price? Okay, there's the price. That seems fair. I'm going to enjoy myself playing this game. Here's $80, here's $100, here's $40, what have you. The problem is these companies seem to want to, and you've been seeing this happen a lot with previous games, is they want to put these higher price tags on it, but then they want to put in half the work. So to say, oh well, if you really want it, you'll get your ass together and you'll make $80 to buy the game. Well, why can't you guys get your ass together to make us a good game worth $80? That should be the real question that's being asked. But yeah, again, like, it's not a big deal. It's just weird. It's confusing that this is the business model that a lot of these game companies are going for, where you're just constantly patronizing your audience and whatnot, and now I'm just kind of being a broken record. If you like the game, buy the game. If you don't buy the game. And then, I'd like to hear your opinions as to why you bought the game or why you didn't buy the game. I want to hear actual constructive criticism, not just shit-talking retards. And then we can keep doing this conversation thing, and then maybe these games can actually be worth $80. We can all get together and make points on a graph saying, well, I think this is why the game is worth it, this is why I think the game is not worth it. And then, lo and behold, you listen to that, and you, next time you make a game, you know what you're getting into. But as always, my name is Rake, and it's good to be back. Thanks for watching. And like and subscribe. It does help the algorithm. Gets me out of the sea of other videos. So if you like them, help me out. Appreciate it.